Welcome back, my hello subscribers. Today we're talking about one of my favorite 50mm as of a month ago. So you've heard me talk about my A7C combination and the mumbo jumbo I'm creating here by putting M lenses on the camera with the LMEA9 adapter from TechArt Pro, which allows you to autofocus your manual focus lenses, your vintage lenses, current ones, whatever they are. If they're M, they go straight onto the camera. If they're not, you can actually get adapters that go from whatever that mount is to M to then use on the adapter. So on the example that I've been showing a lot, this is the A7C. We've got the adapter. We've got the 40 1.4. It's actually an M, so I don't really need an additional adapter. But if this was a Nikkor or a Canon FD, then I would get a Canon FD to M to then mount it to this. But regardless, it would work the same way. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, I encourage you to just check out my impressions of certain lenses that I'm trying out as I explore this option. Now that we have this second version of the adapter, which has been actually working great for me, shot a couple of photo shoots already with it, cars, people, engagements, portraits, that type of thing, cats, of course. So today, I want to talk about one of my 50mm favorites, or favorite 50mm, talk it backwards now. I already talked about my 90, and this thing is so compact. It's amazing that you can get a telephoto in this size and weight. The 40, which is an easy walk around lens, does not add weight to your camera. Actually, this one and the 28 are very similar in size, so very compact setup to just go out and shoot and be low-key, basically. Now, one of the forgotten lineups from Leica are the Leica R. And it's not that they aren't as good as the M, they're just older and they discontinued them because they were specific for, they weren't rangefinder, they were like DSLR, SLR styled film cameras that they stopped making, I think, early 90s around there, when they were all transitioning to digital. So the R mount is just as good as the M in my opinion. I mean, you're gonna get older lenses, of course, so that means older coatings, different materials, of course, age. You do have to do a little bit more research when you're looking at older lenses because lots of them have fungus, haze, separation in the elements. But with that said, I mean, you do your research on any of these vintage lenses. This particular one was made for 2 decades or probably more. I mean, the SUMMICRON 50 has been made for a long time, but this particular version came in several iterations. The one I have is a German version right here. And it's actually really small. It looks bigger because I had to put the R to M adapter. Let's see if it focuses there. So it's actually not too big, even with the adapter. Once you add the lens hood, of course, it does get a little extended, and I'll show you that. So we're looking at this. So now it is about the size of my palm, but regardless, this lens is very well built and it has dings. It's like some of the paint's worn off, but it was made to last and you can feel it in your hands. It's just solid metal weight, you know, weight wise compared to the 90. It's really crazy the weight difference between these two. Even though this is a telephoto 2.8, this 50 f2 weighs probably double just by holding it, rough estimate. The qualities of this lens are great. You get a clean look, you get a soft filmic look in terms of the contrast, still very sharp but not overly sharp, very similar qualities to when I was describing the 90 Elmarit. The cool thing about this 50 is just a universal focal length that you can use in so many different situations that it just makes it an easy go-to lens. So when I got this one, I actually had it was stuck to my camera. It was stuck to my camera for a week or more, and then it's been on and off as I do different photo shoots. This particular version is from 1975, but it was cleaned, tested, and everything by Leica Classics. So that's a great website. If you're not familiar with it, go check it out. You will be impressed with the Leica R lenses and M lenses that you can find on there on a great discount, certified and provided warranty by Leica professionals from Leica. And they ship it out to you. I got it really quick, actually. I think it took 3 days. But anyways, these vary in price a lot, and it's because they made several versions, and they've made them over several decades. I think the SUMMICRON in general, I think there's at least 100,000 of them out there, and they were made between, you know, 60s all the way to 90s. So it's the R system. There's a lot of them out there, but there's also a lot of them that aren't in good condition. So just like I said, do your research. Now let's talk about the performance. I'll now show you some sample images once I'm done talking. One of the things I love about vintage lenses are the character. And this one has one of those qualities of character that I always enjoy. Not everyone likes it, and it's the swirl bokeh in the background. So your subject will be sharp, in focus, looks fine, no distortion, but the background will be slightly swirled. And how swirled it is depends on the lens. You know, like there's the Helios that's very popular. There's Jupiter, Russian lenses that are popular, or Zeiss Biotar. Those have some crazy swirl. This one I would say is in the middle, so it's not overly distracting, and it adds like a good focus onto the subject. And you'll see that in the sample images that I'll show you later. Now, at f2, it's very capable. I mean, you still get some good low light, you get good separation, good close focus. This one actually goes down to 0.6, but keep in mind, like I said, with the adapter, you can get even closer. And this one has a long focus throw. It's almost a full turn. I think it is a full turn. It's actually double that of the 90M. So that is a little bit different, because when you're working with the adapter, you tend to leave it on infinity, and you'll be fine if you're working from medium to far distance. But if you're getting something close, similar to when I was working with the 90, I will have to actually adjust this. Not at minimum unless I'm doing some semi-macro shot, but maybe at a meter to get more of the short to mid distance. So those very minor adjustment you would have to make. The aperture is very clicky. It's nice. So yeah, the swirl bokeh is one of my favorite things about this lens. Like I said, it's sharp. It is soft contrast, not overly contrasted. It just lends itself to using film-like presets as well for your Lightroom editing, all that workflow that you've got going. I ended up shooting a engagement photo shoot with this lens, and I was very happy with the results. It just inspired me to look at the scene and the posing different, because looking through the lens, through the viewfinder, I was noticing the swirl, or noticing how the sunlight would hit the subject, or how the flare would hit the lens, just in a beautiful way, a very artistic way. So that's what I would categorize this lens as. It's very artsy, perfect for portraits, just to make them stand out a little bit more and get those classic looks. Of course, your composition and your lighting is very important. So as long as you learn to maneuver yourself with those elements, you can make this lens shine. So I was really, really impressed with it during golden hour. Just natural shoots, no off-camera flash, and it looks amazing how it captures golden light. Very different from the 90. The 90 was more glowy. This one was a mix of glow with some slight flare, depending on the angle that you are aiming the camera, the lens towards the sun or the light source. But overall, very good lens. So if you haven't tried a Leica lens in general, I'd say the R line would be a great place to start because the price points are a lot more affordable. There's a lot of them out there and you can find them in good conditions, and they're very easy to adapt to anything. I mean, you could put this on any Sony, any Fuji, Canon, oh my God, you could put it on any camera because the adapters are just out there. I want to try it on the Fuji just to see what it looks like, but for now, it has been one of my go-tos, and it is slightly bigger. So it's like, it's about half an inch or an inch longer than the 40-1.4. But you get very different look. So that's why, I mean, I like the 40-1.4 because of the 1.4, and it just looks very clean. It's slightly more modern. And then this one just gives you that classic look, and it just looks amazing. I love this lens. So I'm gonna have to keep doing more research to see if I can find similar ones. I know from the R line, the 80-1.4 was very popular, and it still is very popular, but that also means the prices are still up there. So we'll see if I even get my hands on one of those. But this is a great one to start with if you've never tried a Leica lens, or the 90. This one's just everyday lens type, so you can use it a lot more in different situations. So I highly recommend it. And again, the build is solid. I mean, it's from 1975, and it's still put together. It's still in excellent condition. It was, I mean, once they cleaned them and everything, like, it will serve you well for even more decades. So thank you for watching. I hope you stick around. So I will do later on a more long-term review of how it's going. Maybe a photo shoot, we'll see, so that you can see it in action. But the adapter does not disappoint. You do have to learn how to use it. Like I said, you might have to adjust the lens where it's at so that the focus isn't hunting. You just have to adapt to it. But for photo shoots, for things that aren't in motion a lot, very good option to use these awesome little lenses that add some character to your images. Thanks for watching. Stick around.